Hello, my study skill friends. Um, Next week, we did a lot of journal writing in class, but this is the journal packet I sent you home with. The cover I put on it just looks like this, right? It says general topics. In class, we had been doing, it didn't say general topics, it was the beginning of the year, so it was all stuff about coming to a new school and everything, a new grade. So these are general topics, and next week I want to work on this one. And when I dojoed everybody, I said that it's probably longer than the ones we've done in class, depending on your family size. So I wanted to go over a couple things about it. So let's read it together. It says, write the names of your family in order of age. So you have to start with the oldest people and go down to the youngest. Tell about each one. So it looks simple, but you might want to use something like this. I just broke this down because I feel like this is what you would need to do. And you might have to do like a graphic organizer just to get all the ideas first. And you're probably going to have to talk to mom and dad. You're going to have to find out people's last names. You might need to ask them about an interesting fact about them. So this might involve asking mom and dad some stuff. So that's why I'm only want to assign one this week. So you have a lot of time to work on it. So you're going to need your grandparents on your mother's side. So that means your mother's father and your mother's mother. So your grandparents and your grandparents on your father's side. And, it says, tell about each one. So try to think of something you know about them, something that sticks out to you. Like my mother's mother, my grandmother, was, I would say, her name, and then I would say she made the best crab soup I've ever tasted. And then if I didn't know something, I might ask my mother. I could also say my mother once told me that my grandmother, her mother, was the nicest person she ever knew. So I could give more than one fact. If I had to talk about my grandfather, my mother's father, I could say, he never had to go to war for the country because he worked in a steel mill. So he always had to stay behind and build, equipment for the Navy and the Army. So he was building weapons and tanks and ships. And so that way he was lucky. He had a very, what they call an essential job now. He had to stay back here and build. So add as much as you want. I could write a lot about my grandfather, so this could be as long as you want it to be, but make sure you try to include at least one or two details about each person. But you can do a lot more if you want. So in age order, then you would talk about your parents, your aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, your cousins, which are, your aunts and uncles' children. And then some of you may have nieces and nephews, right? Now you might have brothers and sisters that are older, and they may have children, so you could talk about them too, but you may not, being, you're only in 5th grade, but you might. So I would think about starting with an introduction, so make sure you talk a little bit about the story you're writing, what it's going to be about. Different paragraphs. So when we start a paragraph, we know we indent just a little bit. So this could be one paragraph, or these could be 2 separate paragraphs. Make sure you start with some type of introduction sentence for each paragraph. Like, it's going to be introducing that you're going to be describing your grandparents on your mother's side. This could be another paragraph. You're just talking about parents. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could possibly have 7 paragraphs. These you could combine. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs maybe. And make sure at the very end that you write some type of closing, even if it's just one sentence. Just summarize everything that you talked about, and just wrap it up for the reader. So it looks like a very short, simple topic, but there's a lot to it. So you'll have the whole week to work on it. Think about all the things we've talked about in class, starting sentences with capitals, ending with punctuation, including an intro, a nice hook, a closing, and as always, remember to write nice and neat. Remember, I'm going to ask you eventually to take a picture of this work and send it to me so I can read it too. So make it nice and neat for me so I can read it from a picture. All right, guys, if you have any questions about the writing, just send me a message on Dojo or send me a message on my email. I'm checking it every day, so let me know and have fun with it. I hope you learned something about your family. Okay, bye.